Hey everybody, quick little groovy little phone video today. I learned something last night on the Family Search blog, which anybody can do any day because hey, every day is a day to learn. And this is the Family Search app called Family Tree. I had taken it off my phone for a long time because my phone is kind of full and runs very hot, and I didn't want it to, explode in flames. But this, I put it back on my phone because I wanted to be able to do this. This is really cool. So when I tap on it and I open Family Tree, I get the splash screen of my family and my family's pedigree. And if I tap on the three lines in the upper left, it brings up the full menu of all the groovy things that I can do. And there are a lot of things here. There are ancestors with tasks. I probably don't have any right now, but there are things that there are things that need done. And you can see what it says about the blue record means there's a record of some kind that probably applies to the ancestor, and so take a look at it. So it's the equivalent of a shaky green leaf hint in Ancestry. So I can look at those whenever I want to. I'm not going to do that right now, but I can some other day. So I'm tapping on the triple lines again. I'm going to skip over temple because not all of you are members of the church and we just don't want to go there. I don't need to search historical records. I don't do that on Family Search because I do all my work in Scratch in Ancestry first. We're going to skip find a person. Relatives around me is interesting. It's not going to do anything right now, but here's the idea. Um, the person that you're thinking of or the people around you that you're interested in finding out about have to have their app open also, and they have to agree to this. So it's a little loopy. And occasionally people do this in church where they say, everybody get out your phone, everybody turn on your app, everybody do this. So I'm going to agree to this and scan for friends. None of my neighbors are sitting there with this app open right now. There's just no way. So it's going to scan with me in the middle as a baby sitting on my grandma's lap. And basically it's going to say nobody. It's going to say you're not related to anybody. But that's what that does. And it is fun to do if you have friends who are working in Family Search and they have the app on their phones. You can just say, well, let's see. The thing is that it's massively white slanted because it taps on all of the people who are in Family Search. And I think that we all know by now that that is a massively Anglo and European American cohort. And so that doesn't necessarily help a lot of people, but it's there. What the heck? So let's look at the triple lines again and look at the next thing. Here's Map My Ancestors. It shows basically where in the world is everybody from. And it tells your ancestors and like where they died or where they were born or whatever, it's pretty cool. Where they lived, all kinds of stuff. And it shows exactly how far they am from me, which is really kind of weird in a way. I don't know. But there it is. So I've got these concentrations there, and then I've got like two, I don't know who the two are. They must be the two who were born in Ireland most recently or something like that. I don't know what that is. But this is the really super cool thing. There is a new thing called My Contributions. My Contributions tracks what you've done in Family Search. This is a lot. To my eye, I never realized that I had done this much work in Family Search. It doesn't make me cool, doesn't make me smart, doesn't make me better than all the other kids in the class. It's just interesting. And this is the total contribution, but then it breaks it down into pieces. This is the number of new people I created in Family Search. I wish there was one that showed the number of people I merged, because that's actually more important than creating people, I think, is merging possible duplicates and getting everything correct. But again, sometimes people are all about racking up, names in the tree like points. And within the LDS community, very unfortunately, there are people who treat the entire thing of taking people to the temple, of putting names into the system and taking them to the temple for our worship purposes as a kind of a numbers game and trying to get people to the temple no matter what, and that's a very wrong way to look at things. It's a very wrong way to look at things because nobody's keeping count and this isn't a game. It's about keeping a correct international record of who lived when, where, and who died when and where, who married when and where, and who had children when and where. So that's my main problem with this right now, but it is a new function. So perhaps they will be adding the function of possible duplicates merged. That would be great. Anyway, the next thing that's there is the addition of memories to people. Now, memories are documents, photographs, audio, and video. And I haven't added any audio or any video. I have added documents and I have added photographs, and those photographs have included credited Find a Grave photos of headstones. So they're not necessarily photos directly out of photo albums in my home. They're things that I found online and that I know to be true because they are correctly attributed. So there's that. I was apparently very busy in 2018 with memories, less so last year. And it's only 2020, so the fact that I've only added 20 so far, it's only February of 2020. I'm not too worried about keeping up my rate, but I would like to increase the number of memories that I attach. I think that it's important to attach scans of actual documents in the documents section and to attach as many photographs as you possibly can so that when other people come across this ancestor, whomever, in FamilySearch, as everyone can do because it's a one world family tree, then I like the idea that folks can see things they've never seen before, that they can see proof of things. It's also incredibly important when you're trying to disprove somebody who is somehow abusing FamilySearch, who is saying that somebody is deceased who is alive or vice versa, or who is misattributing parentage or anything like that. So it's important to have those documents ready, visible for people to see. And of course, they can download those documents and print them out for themselves and frame them or keep them in a keepsake book or whatever they want to do. So it's a great way to share information. Now we've got sources. This is where I've gotten busy. The fact that I do my work in Ancestry first, complete it, clean it up, make it all nice and neat, and then carry that work over using that extra icon, the FamilySearch icon that baptized and confirmed members of the church have, that is where this comes in. Because when I add a new person into the tree, I carry over all of the documentation. It's not me, it is the function. Also allows me to carry over all of the documentation, all of the source citations that I have found and added to a person in Ancestry. And the same thing goes when I find that a person is already on FamilySearch. I add over all my citations, even if they're duplicative of whatever is there in FamilySearch. Because again, I am a lawyer. I anticipate an argument. I expect a fight. And if somebody is going to fight with me about whether or not something is correct, I want to make sure that the research is good and that I've done it correctly. And of course, there are times when I have been proven wrong. And the great thing is that the person who has proven me wrong has done the same thing. They've brought over documentation and they've been able to show me, no, you are not right about this because here is my documentation. Here are my source citations. This is where it's coming from. Please undo what you did incorrectly. So that's a very good thing. It's always important to be able to prove whatever it is that you're asserting, especially when you're dealing with historical records and keeping things correct. So that is the biggest thing, I think, is that last year I maxed out at 7,345 sources attached to the various people I worked on. Excuse me. And this includes all of the reparational trees that I've added over, in addition to all of my own. This is just whatever it is that I've done under my username, and it's regardless of whether it's my personal ancestors or some other area of the tree that I've worked on, be it for a client or be it for a reparational research project of some kind. So again, we'll go back to all. That's my activity level for each year. It looks like I'm doing kind of better each year. You can see that it only goes back to 2012. I wasn't really working in Family Search when I first joined the church in 2009. So I was very gradual. As you can see, I was gradual and grudging about working in Family Search. And now that I'm using Family Search and Ancestry together, it's working very well. So that's the point of this. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out on the blog because I'd like everybody to see it. I think it's an important tool. I think that a lot of people at Roots Tech are going to be using this tool and not just invoking my contributions, but they're going to be going back over and invoking relatives around me and scanning for their friends because lots and lots of people there are going to be members of the LDS Church, and others who aren't members of the LDS Church will be users of Family Search and will have this app on their phones and will be ready to rock and roll. So that's pretty much it. I am hashtag not at Roots Tech.